guys, it's Laurelei, and before I get started, I just want to do two things. First of all, I want to thank my new patrons on Patreon, Jake Bunn and James S. Every little bit helps, and you guys are just the best, so thank you so much. And also, I want to apologize for the appalling lack of videos lately. This is not a good sign going into a very full weekly schedule for the rest of the year. But I couldn't help it. I had some stress issues come up, and I had a bit of a anxiety resurgence over the weekend, and I just was not able to get videos up. So I just had to push some stuff back, rearrange my schedule, and hopefully things will be okay from now on. And I'll be able to get stuff done early and be prepared for my weekly schedule, because it's definitely a worrying fact that this is difficult for me. But anyway, wow, that camera's weird. Anyway, today I'm going to react to the film theory for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I know people were saying that there were two of them, but I looked at them and it seems like the first one is slightly generated toward the first series for Fullmetal Alchemist rather than Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, so I don't know if that's true or not, if it's even safe to watch yet, so I'm just going to react to the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood one, which was How Much a Soul is Worth. And it looks fascinating. I love Matt Pat and the theorists. I love watching game theories, so I don't know that I've ever actually watched film theory, so this should be real fun. And yeah, let's just get into it. This is, by the way, as far as I know, the last Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood related video that I will be reacting to. I could be wrong, but for now it's all I have scheduled. So yeah, after this we'll be starting the 2003 series, and that'll be taking its place for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood stuff on this channel.
Theorizing. The science of nitpicking, deconstructing, and reconstructing plot lines.
Nice.
However, it is not an all-powerful art. It is impossible to create a theory out of nothing. If one wishes to gather evidence for a theory, all arguments of "it's just a movie, bro," must be thrown aside. This is the law of course, this wasn't what the creator intended, but damn it, we're exploring it anyway. The basis of all theorizing. In accordance with this law, there was a taboo among theorists. Anime theories are strictly forbidden. For what theory would not anger the die-hard fans? Perhaps a theory calculating the worth
It's true, though.
of soul. Nah, that'll probably get people mad too. Internet, welcome to Film Theory, the only show on YouTube that can ruin your childhood faster than a botched attempt at bringing your dead body to life. You know, it's been a while since we last talked about Fullmetal Alchemist, and a lot has changed in the world of anime since we corrected Ed and Al's biochemistry homework. A brand new season of Attack on Titan has come and gone, My Hero Academia has stolen our hearts, and Naruto has a kid now, apparently? Man, life moves fast. I mean, one moment you're in school, wearing a metal headband, making hand signs, and running around with your hands behind your back, even though, scientifically speaking, the drag that creates would only make you slower, and the next, your old buddy Naruto is a dad. Makes you feel kind of old, doesn't it? Makes you kind of worry about the inevitability of death. Well, it's that kind of existential crisis that makes a guy want to pursue immortality.
I love Matt Pat. He's the best. He's so hilarious.
Vampirism, wishing on the Dragon Balls, but it's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, the 2009 reboot of Fullmetal Alchemist that more closely follows the story of the original comics, that has the solution to immortality that I want to explore today. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, strap yourselves in, because today it is my goal to calculate the strength of a human soul. And be warned, because there are some pretty intense spoilers for FMA Brotherhood up ahead. 9 different characters in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood are functionally immortal. The 7 homunculi, artificial humans named after the 7 deadly sins, their creator father, and von Hohenheim, the dear old dad of our 2 heroes, Edward and Alphonse Elric. Now, all of these characters can and do, in fact, die in the series, but only when someone goes out of their way to kill them. even then, it takes a lot of effort. The homunculi are shown to be able to regenerate their entire bodies
They're often
instantaneously
really badass
without anyone
scenes.
trying to murder them. It's implied that they could live for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. So what's the secret to their impossibly long lives? Well, each of their bodies holds what's known as a Philosopher's Stone, a magical item that amplifies an alchemist's transmutation abilities. The Elric brothers actually find out what it takes to make one of these stones pretty early on in the series, episode 7, but the truth that they uncover is pretty horrifying.
The main ingredient for a Philosopher's Stone is human life. In order to manufacture even a single stone, you have to make multiple human sacrifices.
The Philosopher's Stone is people! More specifically, each Philosopher's Stone is made from human souls, sacrificed, extracted, and refined to delicious red liquid. Throughout the series, we see the stone fuel to homunculize superhuman physical abilities and regenerative powers, and also allow for alchemical transmutations that produce more matter than goes into them. To put it another way,
those souls were reduced to mere energy.
So what the Philosopher's Stone is, essentially, is a supercharged alchemist battery running on human souls. And if we can figure out how much raw energy that battery stores, we can figure out how much
calculate
energy
that?
each human soul contains,
Good
and from
grief.
there, calculate how many human souls it would take to put a few extra 100 years on old Matt Pat's clock. Maybe then I'll finally have time to watch all of One Piece. To figure this out, we're going to do two things. One, a way of comparing a Philosopher's Stone to a real-world source of energy, and two, a measure of exactly how many human souls the stone contains. Fortunately for us theorists, FMA Brotherhood gives us the chance to calculate both. In episode 19, one of the homunculi, Lust, stabs Colonel Roy Mustang in the gut and leaves him for dead. Surprise, surprise, Roy actually isn't dead and sneaks up on her later, burning her to death with a broken lighter and a transmutation circle carved into the back of his own hand. She tries to fight back via repeated regenerations, but eventually succumbs to the flames. What a casual viewer might see as one of the most exciting and badass moments of the show is a moment I see as the key to this entire theory. As I established in my last episode about Fullmetal Alchemist, human bodies in this fictional universe are made of the same stuff as human bodies in our universe. They give us the explicit formula in the show and it matches real life, one for one. So if we can figure out how much energy is contained within a human body, we can extrapolate from there how much energy it would take Lust to regenerate that body after Mustang serves it up extra crispy style.
Okay, that's how they're gonna calculate.
Before being completely roasted, we can figure out exactly how much energy is contained within her Philosopher's Stone. And then from there, divide by the number of souls in the stone, and voila, we have calculated the amount of energy one human soul contains. Isn't math great? So I'm going to put a brief pause on this scene and hop over to figuring out how many souls
I have to
are in
disagree,
Lust's
but
stone. To answer that question, we need to look at the source of the homunculi. Father. Man who looks suspiciously like the Elric's own father, von Hohenheim. The reason for that resemblance, as we learn from the flashback in episode 40, is that Father was originally a homunculus made from Hohenheim's blood back in Xerxes. Xerxes is a legendary kingdom whose population died mysteriously in a single night 400 years before the start of the series. And that little incident happened because Father decided to transmute the entire country's population to make 2 Philosopher's Stones. One for himself and one to von Hohenheim to repay him for giving him life. And jeez, does that ever make me feel self-conscious about my thank you gifts. I mean, cards, flowers? Apparently, if I really loved my mom, I'd get her immortality at the hands of countless screaming, tortured souls of a dead civilization. Immortality, the gift that keeps on giving. Literally. Well, I might have spoken too soon. This
Oh my
isn't
gosh.
the right word here. I mean, I was worried that I'd have to make estimates based on historical precedents and census data and the few images that we had of the nation of Xerxes, but the anime actually did all the counting for me.
He says it.
Time, but I managed to learn the name of every last soul. 536,329. The people you trapped inside of me.
Which is impossible, just by the way. Dunbar's number, proposed by anthropologist Robin Dunbar, is the theoretical cognitive limit to the number of people with whom a person can maintain a stable relationship. Other anthropologists have pegged this average number to be around 300 based on different factors, but regardless of how many it is a far cry from 536,000 people. There are limits to how much information the human mind can hold, but I suppose that's not accounting for magically enhanced soul-infused minds. And the show did help me by giving me a hard number to work with, so I guess I can let it slide this one time.
Yeah,
this time,
let it slide.
anime. This time. Anyway, as Father himself declares in the aftermath of the transmutation,
The voices of all the people in this country who were offered in exchange for my immortality will happen. Their lives were for me, actually.
which clearly tells us that exactly the same number of souls are trapped inside Father as are trapped inside Hohenheim. Now, we know by watching the anime that Father created the 7 homunculi by extracting the 7 deadly sins from each of those 500,000 plus souls contained within him. It was all part of a big effort to purge himself of all his negative desires and emotions. But obviously, he still has a lot of those souls left inside. I mean, after all, he's using his own souls to fuel the alchemy of every person in the country, and he's shown to be much more powerful than any of his children. If Father purged himself of all those souls' vices, that would obviously leave their virtues. Going by the same biblical principles, just like there are 7 deadly sins, pride, envy,
so he's going for this logic here.
And sloth, they're contrasted against the 7 heavenly virtues: faith, hope, charity, fortitude, justice, temperance, and prudence. Not nearly as fun or as exciting. Now, obviously, is going to have a different amount of each of those traits, but with a large enough sample size, and I'd say 500,000 is certainly a large enough size, they're likely to all even out at the end. So we can assume that Father Stone is divided 14 ways across 7 sins and 7 virtues. And with Father keeping the virtues, he has 50% of the total souls. That means each homunculus contains
that does make sense in terms of how much power he has.
The souls that Father started with. Clearly, this guy was a bit smarter than Voldemort when it came to dividing up his soul into 7 vessels. As such, we can conclude that Lust's Philosopher's Stone contains about 1/14 of those 536,329 souls, or about 38,309.2. Now back to the scene where she dies. I can count that Mustang lit her on fire 9 times before she completely turns to ash. So that means each explosion is burning through 38,309 divided by 9, or roughly 4,250.
Assuming she hasn't been killed or used her stone before, which she probably has, but
well, the answer lies in how she regenerates.
Can't calculate everything. I'll stop nitpicking his nitpicking.
Dragon Ball Z, who, true to his name, could regenerate his entire body from a single cell through replication. But that would make some amount of sense. The energy of the Philosopher's Stone could be used as fuel for rapid cell growth, but it's not consistent with the other ways that we see the stones used throughout the series. Time and time again, we see Philosopher's Stones used by alchemists to add mass to objects, and even change their very nature, turning things like wood into stone, or flowers into crystals. New matter just can't come out of nowhere. That would violate the laws of physics. Or in Fullmetal Alchemist language, it would violate the law of equivalent exchange.
To obtain something of equal value must be lost.
So what must be happening here is that the energy inside of the stone is being converted directly into physical matter, in accordance with Einstein's theory of mass energy equivalence. Now, if you're not familiar with the most famous scientist ever,
I think we're going into Einstein's theory of mass equivalence now.
I talk about this guy a lot. On your way out, make sure you hit that subscribe button to transmute yourself from a viewer to a subscriber. That way you get notified of all the other cool anime-related theories that I do on the channel. Anyway, even the loyalist of theorists could probably do with a quick refresher. So aside from his kooky haircut, the thing that Albert Einstein is best known for is proving that matter and energy are actually the same thing. Einstein's most frequently quoted formula, E equals mc squared, is what allows us to convert from one to the other. It's not unlike how alchemists change the form of matter. Going based on the formula, the energy contained in an object is equal to its mass, or kilograms, multiplied by the speed of light in meters per second squared. Now, the speed of light is pretty darn huge, so this formula gives you some pretty crazy big numbers, and it's no accident. It takes an insane amount of energy to hold the atoms of an object together, and when that energy is released, well, that is literally what a nuclear bomb is. Since the Philosopher's Stone is using alchemy to rebuild Lust's body out of pure soul energy, figuring out how much she expends to regenerate is as simple as plugging half her weight into the formula. I say half since only part of her body is getting burned with each of Mustang's blasts. That leaves us to calculate her weight, which honestly is pretty easy to piece together. Lust doesn't have an official weight, but her official height, according to manga charts, is 5 feet 7 inches. An average healthy weight for a woman that size with a medium frame is 140 pounds or 63 kilograms. And Lust looks, she looks healthy to me. So we'll go with that for our estimates. Plugging in 50% of that weight and then solving the equation gives us an energy equivalent of 2,786,141 terajoules. Now, that number probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you, so let me translate. That's the equivalent of about 12 large hydrogen bombs going off. And with that sense, Kim Jong-un suddenly decided to subscribe to the film theorists. Go figure. To get the energy value of one soul, we just divide that by the number of soul's lust expends to regenerate, 4,256.6, which gives us 654 terajoules per soul, which is the equivalent of about 156
That's a
kilotons
lot.
of TNT, or about 10 times the power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. To put that in perspective, based on the rules of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, you could use the power contained in one soul to create an explosion big enough to destroy half of Manhattan. One soul. So in retrospect, I guess I was a little bit off in my last theory. In addition to all the component elements of a human body they were missing, the Elric brothers were apparently short a few pounds of uranium in their transmutation cycle, which, if you think about it, would have cost them an arm and a leg anyway. Get it? Because Edward is missing an arm and a leg.
What's that supposed to mean?
Gee, Ed, it's just an expression. There's no need to get short with me.
Damn it,
Oh my gosh.
Don't call me
It's too easy. But all that math still doesn't get us to the immortality I wanted to
Good
get at the
grief.
beginning of this episode. The energy of one soul obviously isn't enough for eternal life, and with 38,000 souls, the homunculi still die pretty easily, all things considered. If we want to be immortal like Hohenheim and Father, we're gonna need the same amount of energy that they have. To find the energy of all the souls inside Father, we need to multiply the energy of one soul by 536,329, which gives us the whopping number of 351 exajoules. That is 5 times as much electricity as the entire world generates in a single year, which is a lot of energy.
That's a
but
lot of
don't get me
energy.
wrong, it's still totally attainable. You'd only need about half the world's uranium reserves, and you'd also have to figure out how alchemy works too, I guess, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So there you have it, Loyal Theorists. We have proven definitively the value of a human soul isn't some magical, unquantifiable thing, but it's still way too rich for my non-immortal blood, so guess I'd start building that dragon radar. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
Like I said, I really love Matt Pat. Like, he puts so much enthusiasm into all the content he makes, and it's just so fun. And he makes science and math, which I hated so much and gave up as soon as I could, a lot more fun when you try and plug it into magic or alchemy and stuff, and it's cool. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Some stuff I was a little iffy on just based on my knowledge of how the world works. Some stuff was actually pretty intriguing in that I hadn't thought of it that way, like using Einstein's equation like that to see how the conversion of energy to matter in alchemy works. That one was really cool. But yeah, it was really, really good. I liked it a lot. Sorry if I didn't like react as much with it. Like with something like this, it's a lot more of just listening to it. But yeah, it's nuts, and that was a lot of work for the people behind Film Theory. That's a lot of math. I hate math. But yeah, that was really, really cool, and I've said that like 4 times now, so I'm probably just gonna stop this here and just say thank you guys for watching. This was real fun. Watching all these extra Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood stuff with you guys has been a whole lot of fun, and I'm gonna miss it, but moving on to different things, and that's okay. And hopefully some of you will stick around for Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 or any of the other new shows I'm starting on my channel. And if you're not, that's okay too. But I just want to say thank you guys so much. I love you all so very much. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!